Hello, first graders. It's Mrs. Saul, and I'm here to read you a story today. So, before we left school, we had been working on nonfiction, and we were working on learning different strategies that readers use to help them when they read nonfiction. And we continued working on nonfiction when we started our distance learning. And now, at this point in time, we are ready to switch back over and switch our focus to fiction again. So, the first story that we're going to hear is called Winners Never Quit. And this was written by Mia Hamm and illustrated by Carol Thompson. Now, before we begin, I wanted to take a minute to talk a little bit about our author. Again, her name is Mia Hamm, and you may have heard of her. And if not, your parents may have heard of her because let me show you a picture of her here. Here she is. Mia Hamm is actually a retired professional soccer player. There she is playing soccer. And she was a two-time Olympic gold medalist, which means she won gold medals 2 times in the Olympics. That's a big deal. She also is a 2-time FIFA Women's World Cup champion. And Mia played soccer in the late 80s through the 90s, and she retired in the early 2000s. So, very famous person, very famous athlete. And the interesting thing about this book and her is that this book is a genre of books that we haven't read before. So we've read a lot of genres in school this year. We've read books that are fantasy, fiction books that are fantasy, which means they're stories that could never really happen. And we've read books that are realistic fiction, where you read it and you think, oh, this is a true story. I think this really happened, but it's not really a true story. It's one an author made up, but everything in the story is stuff that could probably happen to you or me. We've read nonfiction books and we've read biographies. Now, this one is a little bit different. So the genre of this book is called narrative nonfiction. Now, you're probably thinking, wait, Mrs. Saul, you just told me that we're going to start reading fiction again. And you're right, I did. But the interesting thing about narrative nonfiction is that it sounds like fiction. So we thought this would be a good story to kind of transition or move from nonfiction into fiction, because narrative nonfiction is written like a story. So when you hear this, you might think, well, this is just a made up story. This is not real. And you're kind of right. It sounds like a made up story. It's written like a story. It has characters, it has a setting, it has events, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Oftentimes it has a problem and a solution, all those things we see in fiction. However, the difference is, and what makes it still nonfiction, is that it actually includes real facts about a person, an event, an animal, or a topic. Now, since this one I told you was written by Mia Hamm, and she was a famous soccer player, this book actually includes real facts about Mia Hamm, a person. So let's get started on our story. So it's called Winners Never Quit. Now, we know before we read a book, we should always take a minute to stop and think and kind of activate our schema. What do we know, or what can we figure out by looking at the cover of this book? So first I can look at the pictures. I see a girl and I see a soccer ball. And she looks like she's running, and maybe she just kicked the ball because I see some little stars by her feet. I think that's how the illustrator wanted to show me that maybe she just kicked that ball. So I think that is Mia on the front cover here. Now I'm going to look at the title. It's called Winners Never Quit. Well, I know that we hear the word winners a lot when we're talking about a game or a sport, but they never quit. I know quit is when you give up. So if it's saying winners never quit, I think it means that if you're playing a game and you want to be a winner, that you shouldn't quit or give up. So now that I have all of those thoughts in my head, I think I'm ready to read this story. So here we go. Mia loved basketball. Mia loved baseball. But most of all, Mia loved soccer. She played every day with her brothers and sisters. Tap, tap, tap. Her toes kept the ball right where she wanted it. Then, smack! She'd kick the ball straight into the net. Goal! Everyone on her team would cheer. So, boys and girls, as you can see so far, this sounds like a made-up story. However, we know that this is just someone telling a story of their life. We're hearing about a time in Mia Hamm's life. And it looks like she was a pretty young girl. And it's telling us about how she used to play soccer all the time with her brothers and sisters. I wonder if all those kids are her brothers and sisters. She must have a lot of them if they are. Let's keep reading. But sometimes it didn't work that way. One day, no matter how hard she tried, Mia couldn't score a goal. The ball sailed to the left of the net, or to the right. Or her sister Lovedie, the goalie, saved the ball with her hands. No goal, no cheering. Too bad, Mia, her brother Garrett said. Better luck next time. But Mia didn't want better luck next time. She wanted better luck now. Oh boy, look at her face, boys and girls. That face looks familiar to me. I know that sometimes when I'm feeling discouraged or upset, that I make that kind of face. She looks kind of angry. And I think it's because sometimes she doesn't score a goal. On the other page, it told us that Mia always feels good when she scores goals. And it makes her so happy when she hears people cheering. But I know that when you're playing a game and you're trying to win, that it's no fun when you miss and you don't get a goal or you don't score. So I think Mia is kind of upset right now. And I see a little picture at the bottom of the page there, and it kind of looks like she's stomping away. I'm wondering if Mia is going to quit playing right now. Let's keep reading. I quit, Mia said. Oh, Mrs. Saul was right. You can't quit, Lovedie said. Then we'll only have 2 people on our team. Come on, Mia, her sister Carolyn pleaded. You always quit when you start losing. Just keep playing, Mia, Garrett said. It'll be fun. Oh, boys and girls, I just learned something on this page. I just learned from what Mia's sister Carolyn said. You always quit when you start losing. Oh, I just learned that Mia doesn't like losing and that sometimes when she loses, she quits playing. She walks away. I think I know why this story is called Winners Never Quit. I think the problem here is that Mia quits when she starts to lose. Now, that's not fair to anyone because if you're playing on a team, well, now they have one less player. And if you're playing a game with someone, maybe they can't keep playing if you leave. Oh, let's see what happens. But losing wasn't fun. Mia stomped back to the house. Quitter! Lovedie yelled. Mia didn't care. She'd rather quit than lose. Oh boy. So her sister's calling her a quitter. That's probably making her feel even worse. But I'm feeling kind of sad for her brothers and sisters because they want to keep playing soccer. And when I look in the background of that picture where Mia's stomping away, I see them kind of all looking at her and she's just stomping off. And now they're standing there thinking, well, we can't finish our game because now we don't have enough players. So again, boys and girls, quitting, not a good idea. You're not being a good teammate if you quit. hopefully you've started to notice how this story is considered narrative nonfiction, because it sounds like a story. But again, Mia Hamm is telling us about a time when she was a young girl and what happened when she played. Let's keep reading and see what happens. I hope Mia changes her mind. The next day, Mia ran outside, ready to play soccer. When she got there, the game had already started. "Hey!" she yelled. "Why didn't you wait for me?" Garrett stopped playing. "Sorry, Mia," he said, "but quitters can't play on my team." "Yeah," said Loveday. "If you can't learn to lose, you can't play." Oh my. So here, look, Mia comes running outside. Look how happy her face is when she comes running down the stairs. She's so excited to go play soccer. I know that because they told us right in the beginning she loved to play soccer. And I can tell that Mia, because it's the next day, she's not feeling so bad about missing that goal yesterday anymore. She kind of got over it. She let it go. She moved on. And now she's excited to play again. But her brother and her sister are saying, "You can't play." Because her brother said, "Quitters can't play on my team." And her sister said, "If you can't learn to lose, then you can't play." Oh my goodness, look at Mia's face on page 169. She is not looking very happy anymore. I think she's surprised and probably upset that her brother and sister are saying she can't play. Oh boy, let's see what happens. Garrett passed the ball to Tiffany. Martin ran to steal it. Tiffany dashed around him and took a shot at the goal. Loveday blocked it. Mia just stood by the side and watched. Well, I know when I like to do something or I like to play a game, it's kind of no fun to just sit and watch people play. I think that Mia's probably feeling really sad right now. The next day, Garrett picked Mia first for his team. Oh, this is great news, boys and girls, because even though Garrett said she couldn't play yesterday, today it seems like he is letting her play, and he picked her first. Mia got the ball. She dribbled down the field. Smack! She kicked the ball toward the goal, and Loveday caught it. No goal, no cheering. Uh-oh, boys and girls. I think we should stop here for a second and think, what kind of prediction do we want to make here? So I remember in the beginning of the story when Mia kicked the ball and she didn't score because her sister blocked it and she didn't get a goal and there was no cheering, that Mia got mad and she quit. I wonder if that's going to happen again. So can you turn to someone next to you and make a prediction? What do you think is going to happen? Okay, hopefully you had a chance to talk about it. Now, my prediction is, and maybe it's the same as yours, or maybe it's different. I think that maybe Mia is not going to quit this time. I think maybe she realized that it's no fun not to play. And my brother and sister said, if I can't learn to lose, then I can't play. So I hope this time that she's not going to quit. Let's find out. Too bad, Mia, Garrett said. Better luck next time. Mia felt tears in her eyes. She's going to quit, whispered Loveday. I knew it. Mia still hated losing, but she didn't hate losing as much as she loved soccer. Friends, look at Mia's face on this page. Look at how angry she is. It reminds me of the face she was making when she quit the game the other day. But the word said she didn't hate losing as much as she loved soccer. That tells me that I don't think she's going to quit this time. Let's keep reading. Ready to play? Asked Garrett. Mia nodded. Garrett grinned at her. He passed her the ball. Mia ran down the field, tap, 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 with her toes. The ball stayed right with her, like a friend. She got ready to kick it into the goal. Boys and girls, she didn't quit. My prediction was correct. I'm so happy to hear this. Mia kicked the ball as hard as she could. Maybe she'd score the goal. Maybe she wouldn't. But she was playing, and that was more important than winning or losing, because winners never quit. Oh, boys and girls, I'm so happy that she didn't quit this time. And I really like that the author didn't really tell us what happened. It looks like maybe she scored a goal, but maybe she didn't. They said maybe she'd score and maybe she wouldn't. But the most important thing is that she learned that winners never quit. And if you want to be a good teammate, you can't quit either. So, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this story. You are going to get to watch a little video after this about summarizing a story. So look for that video next so that you can learn how readers summarize a story that they've read. Talk to you soon. Be safe. Bye.